Today we're going to make a reusable cloth menstrual pad. It's going to be simple today. I've got two fabrics. This is PUL, which is polyurethane laminate, and this is flannel, cotton flannel. Let me show you the sewing pattern. This is the outline of the pad with the wings, and this is the shape of the absorbent material that's going to go on the inside. This is a rotary cutter that you can use with a cutting mat, but you can also just use scissors. Both are good options. I ended up deciding that 3 layers would be a good amount of absorbency for this pad. All right, there are the core absorbent inside layers. Okay, this is the shape of the sewing line. So I am going to use my marker and I'm gonna draw this shape onto the fabric. I use a Sharpie, but you can also use washable Crayola markers if you prefer. Okay, that's the exact shape of the pad. You just cut out the shape quickly, does not matter. You could leave a bunch of excess on there if you wanted to. So just toss this on here and cut out 1 layer of this. Position the core layers right in the middle of that sewing line. It makes it pretty convenient to have that line there so that you get it right in the middle. So anyway, you can sew all of the core layers together before you attach them to the topper layer, but you could also just do like this to skip a step. It just depends on if you have trouble with the layers shifting around or not. So my strategy here is I'm gonna try to align the edge of the core with the edge of the foot here and just use that as my guide. I'm gonna use a straight stitch, a little longer, maybe like 3 or 3.5. So some people are good at just like going at a steady speed and then manipulating this and turning it. I'm not really good at that, so when I go around curves like this, I usually do 3 stitches and then lift the presser foot and turn it slightly. It's gonna look the same. If anything, it might look better because everything stays flat and is not like pulled and manipulated. Continue sewing around the entire core, and then when you get to the starting position, stopping, go ahead and backstitch to lock in those stitches. Okay, here's the core sewn to the top layer. This is the side that's going to face your body, so this is considered the right side. This is the side that's going to face your underwear, so that's also considered the right side of this layer. This is the part that's inside. It will be hidden, so you're going to place right sides together and pin them. You can use pins or clips. You can freestyle it and not use anything at all. It's totally up to you. I like to use a lot of pins because I'm a little particular. Okay, so we are going to leave a section here that is not sewn down. This is where we're going to turn the pad right side out. And so I'm going to choose the largest straight section available to me so that it's easier to turn this out. So that's going to be right there for me. I'm going to start sewing right here. I'm going to backstitch to lock in the stitches, sew around on this line, and then end up over here, backstitch again to lock it in, and then I'll trim off the seam allowance, but I'll explain that in a minute. This is me sewing with my needle positioned directly on the sewing line. I prefer this over using the seam allowance as a guide because with these smaller shapes on pads, the seam allowance kind of distorts the shape of the pad. It's just not accurate enough for my fussy tendencies. So I actually find that like the shape overall comes out neater using this method. So if you're purchasing my patterns and you're wondering why you just got a pattern that doesn't have seam allowance, just try it like this, okay? It's not too bad once you get used to it. Okay, so go slow. Lift the presser foot, pivot the whole project instead of trying to manipulate it and yank it back and forth. It'll look nicer in the end. And practice your skills, and eventually you will love what you're making, and it will be so much fun. I don't know why I chose this angle to trim the seam allowance off, but I've just made so many videos about sewing pads that I'm getting creative here. So I'm just using pinking shears to trim off the excess fabric along the sewing line. You don't want to clip too close because you don't want your edges to fray after it's turned out, but the more you clip off, the neater the seam will be. Leave a little turning hole and you're good to go. All right, here's the shape with the seam allowance trimmed off with the pinking shears. I'm just gonna go in with like these scissors here to check out these spots right here. If you don't have enough trimmed off, then it could pucker after you turn this right side out, but you don't want to trim too close to the sewing line because then you risk fraying at the seam if you're too close. So yeah, don't cut too close to that line, but you do want to release the tension so that the seam will lay flat. I think that's one of the very common frustrations for somebody who's just sewing pads for the first time, is they turn it out and they notice that it won't lay flat, and that's usually the problem, that these like inner corners are puckering. I like to crinkle it a little bit so it'll just be softer trying to travel through that hole. Okay, I've got it mostly turned right side out, so I'm going to use this knitting needle that's not too sharp, because if it's too sharp, sometimes it'll just like poke right through the seam. So anyway, I'm going to use this pointy object to push all of the seams out. And then I'm going to sew kind of close to the edge all the way around to finish the pad. I'm going to backstitch to lock in the stitches and then use a longer stitch than I used for sewing all the layers together. Probably like a 3 or a little longer. At this point in the process, it's a great time to find a podcast or an audiobook to listen to and just take your time so that you don't make mistakes in the top stitching, because this part you'll see. If you mess up on some of the earlier parts, it can be hidden, but this is the part where I like to invest time in making it look nice. I do a lot of lifting the presser foot, pivoting the pad so that I'm not trying to push and pull the fabric through, just do what works for you. I often tell you what to do, but you don't have to do what I tell you. These are my plastic cam snaps. I always use bronze. I think it matches pretty much anything, keeps it very simple. One of the things you'll find is if you try to color coordinate cam snaps to your fabrics, it's going to drive you crazy. At least it does for me. Some people get joy out of that, but I don't. So I just use one color snap, and bronze does it. So I have this like fancy press thing. You can also just get a handheld clamp. It basically functions the same way. This is just easier on the hands. So there you go. Position your wings where you want them to snap, poke the holes, apply the snaps, and you're good to go. I hope this video has been helpful. Check out the Facebook group for patterns, for questions, tutorials, resources, and I hope that you enjoyed this.